Hello, hello, hello. This is Christine Holmes Mason, speaker and transition coach. And welcome to the room. I want to say hello to the rebroadcast viewers that are going to be listening to this broadcast. And I want to just welcome you into the room tonight. And I'm going to be talking tonight about you being the asset and how you deal with loss. How do you deal with loss? A lot of people have a hard time dealing with loss, whether it's the loss of a loved one or whether it's a job loss, whether it's the loss of a child in terms of that child turning out to be something that you didn't expect. It could be a loss in a lot of different areas of your life. But I want to come and I want to just give you a quick word tonight on how you are the equipment, you are the asset. When you have a loved one who passes away, oftentimes in relationships and in marriages, we attract the opposite. In other words, when you're in a relationship or a marriage, you end up with someone who's totally different from you. You have a lot of commonalities, but they have strengths in areas that you don't. And so when that person passes away, the other person is often at a loss, not only because that person is no longer in the earth, but because they carried the strengths in that marriage, or in terms of a relationship or even a friendship. Oftentimes when the friendship is over or the relationship is over, that person walks away with strengths from that relationship. And so the other person is now in a situation where they have to build up, they have to compensate, or they have to grow in those areas. You often see it with children as they grow up, because children have a tendency to do this as well. They tend to strengthen each other. In other words, they're often drawn to opposites, or they have commonalities, but one of them has strengths in an area that the other one does not. And so when we're talking about relationships, we often see this in relationships and in marriage as well. This is what I want to share with you tonight, is that even though you may have lost the love of a person who was near and dear to you, or you might have lost the relationship, and you're the one who's now dealing with whatever it was that you felt that person had in terms of strengths that you did not have as much as they did, for example. And so now you're working on maybe building up that side of your life, or now you're looking at the fact that they're gone, and maybe you're dwelling too much on the fact that they're gone. This is what I want to share with you. You are the asset. You are the one that's left. You are the one that's, whether it's in the relationship, you're the one that's left. You're the one now who is working on rebuilding your life, reshaping your life. I like to look at it like this. Years ago, Michael Jackson did this video. And in the video, he does this dance in a way only that Michael Jackson can do it. He gets done and he's spinning around and around. And then he does what? He literally transforms out of sight, as it were. And so in the same way, when life's challenges come into our lives, it's simply a stepping stone and opportunity now for us to transform, into something new, into something different. It's an opportunity for you to really invent yourself all over again. It's really an opportunity. It's not a time of loss in that sense. And so if you begin to look at it like that, rather than focusing and spending so much time on what you don't have and the loss that you incurred. And so begin to look at it from another point of view. This is what I want to share with you also, is to stop waiting on other people to do what God told you to do. Stop waiting on other people to do what God told you to do. You have a unique set of circumstances in your life. You have a unique set of skills based on those circumstances that you have come through. And based on that, there's a whole lot of people that are out there that need to hear it coming through you, the way that you bring it. Everybody has a different personality. Everybody has a way that they do whatever it is that they do. And God has given you something that's special and unique to the set of skills that He's given you. And you might be out there today and you might be saying, well, you know, I've been limited because of this or that in my life, or I've been limited because, you know, I have dyslexia, or I have this, or I have that. But remember this, that even in that has now equipped you with a unique set of skills. You can take those same set of skills and you can now create curriculum for learners that learn differently. You can now do a lot of things that other people cannot do because they don't have that vantage point. And so consider that you are still at an advantage. You're not at a loss. It's all how you see it as well. If you're the brightest one in your group, I challenge you to stop it right now, to begin to surround yourself with people that are much brighter than you. Really, really smart people do that. I'm thinking about Mr. Ford, the man who founded the Ford Company. And Mr. Ford did this. He did not have a college education, but what he did have was brilliance. He had the ability to hire people who were able to compensate for the areas of weakness in his life. And this man was a brilliant man. He was absolutely brilliant. And what he did was just that. He hired people who had gone to the highest of universities. He had the money to do it. And that's what he did. He hired the people that he needed, and they were able to give him that which he was lacking. And so be able to recognize that when you need to do that. Knowledge. This is what I want to share, and I am going to wrap it up after this. Knowledge, until it is applied, is simply knowledge. And so knowledge is something that universities are filled with. University professors have lots of knowledge. There's lots of college students today that have lots of knowledge. They carry